This is your host, Dub FFG, with the Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies. How's everyone doing today? Today, we're going to talk about the Week 5, the hot reads, the must-starts. Let's get to it. First up, we got Justin Fields. Now, Justin is playing the Cowboys, and they're at home. Justin is facing the worst defense in the NFL. Just plain out period. The Cowboys are bad on defense. They can't cover the pass to save their lives. So expect Justin to have at least 200 passing yards and expect them to have about 20 fantasy points. This will be his biggest output thus far for the 2025 season. Justin Fields. He's a hot read. Next up, we got Jalen Waddle. Jalen, he's now wide receiver 1 again back in Miami. The Dolphins are on the road playing the Panthers, and they're facing the number 1 ranked defense versus the wide receiver. So that could be slightly a challenge. But again, Waddle is the number 1 receiver, and Tua doesn't necessarily have to force the ball anymore. He can be comfortable. And Jalen's going to benefit big from that. So expect about 15 fantasy points from Jalen Waddle. He's a hot read. Next, we have Garrett Wilson. Now, Garrett Wilson and the Jets are home playing the Cowboys. Just as Justin Fields is going to eat big, so will Garrett Wilson. He will probably eat even bigger. He's facing, again, the worst defense in the NFL when it comes to pass. So expect about 70 yards passing or more, and at least 15 fantasy points, somewhere around that 15 to 20 fantasy point range. Garrett Wilson, he's going to eat big. Here's a word from our sponsors. Pick up your favorite team's gear from NFL Shop by Fanatics. Use the GOAT Strategies link below to save on your purchase. Next, we have Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is a stud, and we know that. He's playing on the road versus the Bengals. The Bengals are the 30th ranked defense versus running back. So expect Jahmyr to have about 18 to 22 fantasy points. As you know, he gets tons of touches, but he's a hot read this week. Jahmyr Gibbs. Next, we have Chris Olave. Now, Chris and the Saints, they're home versus the Giants. The Giants, they're 29th versus the wide receiver when it comes to their defense. Expect Chris Olave to have about 70 yards receiving, roughly 15 to 20 fantasy points. He should do well this week. They're at home. Next up, we have Tua Tagovailoa. Now, Tua, they're on the road versus the Panthers, and this should actually be a pretty tight game. So don't be surprised if Tua and Bryce Young get into somewhat of a shootout. But Tua is without Tyreek Hill. But it may not matter as much because he's found another weapon. That's Darren Waller. And Tua doesn't have to necessarily force feed the ball to his number 1 receiver. He can now evenly distribute the pass amongst his weapons. So expect Tua to have about 15 to 20 fantasy points, probably closer to 20 than anything. Tua Tagovailoa, he's a hot read this week. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now, the Cardinals defense has looked pretty good this year. They're home versus the Titans. This should be a cakewalk for them because the Titans offense is just in disarray at the moment. But again, like I said, this is the NFL, so nothing's really a cakewalk. But the Arizona Cardinals defense should eat big. They should have a field day. Expect them to have at least 20 fantasy points, probably higher. Arizona Cardinals defense, they're a hot read. And there you have it for Week 5 Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies Hot Reads. This is our must starts. So, which of these players do you have? Are you putting them in the game? Let us know down in the comments section. Also, don't forget about our Fantasy Football GOAT Strategies merchandise. See down in the comments for the links below. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Till next time, we'll see you soon.